Imagine the immense challenge of coordinating every single industry across an entire nation, from agriculture to heavy manufacturing, ensuring that each sector has exactly what it needs to produce its output. How would a government even begin to map out these complex interdependencies and make sure that a massive economic system runs smoothly without the guiding hand of market prices? Communist states, particularly the Soviet Union, utilized a sophisticated tool called input-output analysis as a cornerstone of their centralized economic planning. This method provided a detailed quantitative framework to understand and manage the flow of goods and services between different sectors of their economy. It was fundamentally about making sure that the planned production targets for one industry could be realistically supported by the outputs of others. The core mechanism behind input-output analysis is rooted in the work of economist Vasily Leontief, whose model offered a way to representing an entire economy as a system of interconnected industries. In a centrally planned system, where market mechanisms were deliberately suppressed, planners like those at Gosplan in the Soviet Union needed a scientific basis to make resource allocation decisions. This analysis enabled them to calculate the direct and indirect requirements of every industry. For instance, to produce a certain amount of steel, you not only need iron ore and coal, but also the machinery to mine those resources, the energy to run the factories, and the transportation to move the goods. Input-output analysis provided the mathematical tools, often using complex matrix algebra, to systematically uncover these ripple effects throughout the entire economic structure. It was an ambitious attempt to bring scientific precision to national economic management. In practice, implementing input-output analysis involved collecting vast amounts of data from thousands of enterprises across the economy. This data was then compiled into massive tables known as Leontief tables, which explicitly showed how much each industry purchased from and sold to every other industry. Planners would then use these tables to set production quotas and allocate resources for upcoming planning periods, such as the famous 5-year plans. If the state decided to increase tractor production, the input-output model could tell them exactly how much more steel, rubber, and even electricity would be needed, and from which specific sectors those inputs would have to come. This allowed for a more coordinated, if still challenging, approach to meeting national economic objectives. The scale of this undertaking was truly immense. Before the widespread availability of powerful computers, these calculations were often done by vast teams of statisticians and economists, sometimes manually, or with early mechanical calculators, making it one of the pioneering efforts in large-scale macroeconomic modeling. Despite its theoretical elegance and potential, the practical application in communist states often grappled with significant challenges, including the reliability of the reported data, the difficulty of adjusting to unforeseen economic shifts, and the inherent rigidity of a system that tried to replace dynamic market signals with static planned coefficients. The very act of trying to quantify every economic relationship was itself a testament to the scientific ambitions of central planning. Ultimately, input-output analysis was a powerful, if imperfect, instrument that allowed communist states to systematically approach the daunting task of central economic planning. It provided them with a quantitative lens through which to understand the complex web of interindustry relationships, helping to rationalize production and distribution, and supporting rapid industrialization goals. While facing considerable operational hurdles, its use underscores the ambitious efforts to create a scientifically managed economy, providing invaluable insights into both the capabilities and the profound limitations of purely centralized control over vast economic systems.